very unusual nest in the sense that we're just far enough away where we don't seem to be impacting it. They come back and nest every year. That we're above the nest slightly and looking down into it, which is kind of unusual. So photographically, the fact that it's far enough away that we can be here, that we're above it and looking into it, that there's nothing on this side of the nest that allows us to actually look into the nest. This is a very, very unusual nest, and maybe one of the few around that would allow photographers and people to sit here and watch it without causing, I don't think there's any impact on it. This is like a Wi-Fi transmitter that I hook to the camera, and it sends a signal of what's in what I'm seeing in the camera to my iPad. And that way I can control everything without touching the camera, because I'm at such a high magnification that you breathe on the camera and you'll get vibrations. So I'm able to, from my iPad, take stills, change all my settings, switch over to movies anytime without ever touching the camera. Plus I can do incredibly fine focus. Eaglets are right there. Now they're both hiding their heads right now. But when I tap it, it just enlarges it. And then I can come in here and I can see, and I can critically set my focus. Or presumably, the focus will, if I tap once, it should put the focus right there where I want it. They may actually mate on the nest. And then when she lays the eggs, then one of them you'll find out will be just staying on the nest. The other one is bringing food to them, and then occasionally they will switch their duties. But then the other one will fly off and get food and so forth, land in a tree over here and eat, and then maybe bring some of it over, or just let the other one go and it'll sit on the eggs. And when they first are hatched, and they're just little tiny fluff balls, these chicks that are no bigger than that, and then they keep building and getting bigger and bigger, and they keep feeding them bigger and bigger pieces. At this point, they're probably bringing in pieces and just leaving it in the nest, and they will go over to that and pull off pieces, and they'll learn how to essentially feed themselves. They can catch it, but they can still feed when they have some food. This goes on until they fledge. When they fledged the time I was here, they went off to the rocks on the far side there, but the parents still came in with food to the nest. They would sit there, they would look around, there was no youngsters, and then finally they would turn around and they would find the youngsters, and they would feed the youngsters on the rocks in the area. And then finally they will then leave the area, because you're not going to have those youngsters from last year and the year before nesting in the same area. They don't nest that close together.